Hello, y'all. What you doing? Well, I thought today I just kind of want to talk to you a little bit. I don't know if this is gonna be the last part, which is part 5, or if it will extend to a part 6. I guess it just depends on how far I go to try to explain what I experienced, which isn't all that easy, because it's harder to put it into words. Everything and all the details, because I don't want to put things in that y'all can't try to grasp or relate to, because it's really based on my experience and my feelings and my spiritual being, So it's a little bit hard to put everything that I was going through and feeling and experiencing sometimes into words. But I'm trying. I'm really trying. So I prayed before starting this video, and I hope I don't get any interruptions by phone calls and stuff, because it would make my video go crazy, messed up, But anyway, with that all said, welcome to the channel. And I don't have any makeup or anything on, but I did want to put some iPads on because me not sleeping a lot. Did sleep good last night, but didn't fall asleep till like 4. But I do want to put some iPads on, just because of my tired eyes. So I thought in the process of that, I could go ahead and try to get this part 5, because people have been asking about it, and I don't want to delay it anymore, and hopefully I'll get it all said in this will be the last part, I'm hoping. Boy, that seems kind of slimy. My eyes so need it. These are those starry eye patches. Starry eyes or something from, was it Glow Recipe or something like that. They're very, very nice. And I thought it was fitting for what I want to talk to y'all about in this last part, because it's got like little sparkles in it, and they're called starry eyes, and I think, and I thought, well, wow, how fitting is that? I think I told you guys about sometimes when I would pray again for confirmation on certain things, and I happened to be scrolling and seen a near-death experience video of this gentleman, and he was talking about his experience, and it was just so funny because I still had this part 5 to do, and the things that he was talking about fit into this part 5, and I was like, wow, how, it's just amazing how every time I go to ask the Lord for confirmation, and I don't even mention, Lord, I need the confirmation on this last part. I'm not saying I get all the confirmation on or the explanations on things that I experience, but this particular gentleman was talking about a certain part that I'm going to talk to you guys about, and it just fit perfect, and I was like, God's just wonderful, Now, there is some questions I have concerning towards the end of this part 5. I still am not totally aware of. So, I'm sure God will bring that to me eventually, or make it make sense. But I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys everything that happened towards this last end, or towards the end of my experience. And hopefully, one day I will understand completely what the very end means. I can only surmise what it means. But anyway, I think on the last video, I was telling you guys that it was like my spirit had left my body and I was over towards the upper right. And I felt like I was engulfed. My soul, my spirit was encased in just this love that is, love doesn't fit the description of this feeling, because it's just so much more powerful than that. And I was encased in this, and I told you guys there was something that I was going to say to him. And again, I want to remind you that everything that I thought, or questions I may had, or things I was going to say, were done mentally. It wasn't done spoken. And again, I did not see him. I felt him. Didn't visually see him. And as I was engulfed, my spirit engulfed up here, it was so intense. And I was there, my body was encased, but my body was elsewhere. And I was this was such a strong feeling. I don't know if I want to say vibration or just a shaking, of my soul and spirit. It was just a quivering, rattling of my spirit in it. It was like he was just, this heat was just, exploding into me. And it's got little sparkles, looks like stars. I'll tell you why I'm saying that. But I thought, I didn't speak it, I thought, Lord, I can't take much more. I am going to explode. My spirit was just going to explode. And when I said that, my visual mind rushed into this, I don't know, what would I call it? It was, I saw all these millions of stars. And when I was thinking I'm going to explode with all this intensity of love and warmth and, hang on, guys. Okay, I'm back. It's a rattle at the door. But, when I was saying that or thinking that I'm going to explode, my visual, right, just was zooming through these billions of stars, and it wasn't like I was hurting or anything. It was like this was the most ultimate rush I have ever experienced. It's like going on a roller coaster as fast as you can, and you're in this tunnel and stars are everywhere and you're zooming by, and just the beauty. You didn't know there was that many stars. And when I said that, boom, I was out of there. I mean, when I was experiencing, I was rushing through those stars. Next thing I know, I'm transferred somewhere else. That quick. I was let go and transferred somewhere else. Now I'm back in body. And, of course, Maxwell's going to start squeaking his toy. But next thing I know, and this is so, I don't know what to call this. you know, whether it was an angel or a seraphim or, you know, a different type of angel or a creature or what this was. But when I woke up, I was encased, laying, cuddled in this wing of this creature. I was nestled into the breast of a wing. A large angel or seraphim or whatever, you know, other type of creatures God has, with this wing spread, you know, but I was laid right up on the breast of this wing, and this softness and how pure white it was, and we were flying. And I was looking below, and I was saying, again, mentally, right here, I gotta go back. I said, I gotta go back. And I was referring to, I gotta go back to him. You know, I got to go back to him. And where I just left from. And, of course, it's gonna come off. It spoke to me mentally, and it said, you can't take it. You're not ready. And I said, I don't care. I don't care. I've got to go back. And he said, look. And I looked down. He said, and then he looked, and it's like he spread his wing, look, and I'm laid right there, and I looked down, and this is the part I don't understand, you know, and whether God will bring me this revelation, and that's too one reason why I haven't spoken on my experience earlier, because I don't know the full meaning of this last part. But when he said, look, and I looked down, I witnessed like this type of, what you call it, a family affair. Like these small towns will have these gatherings, you know, like a fairground with carousels and, you know, just loving families walking around and, you know, just enjoying themselves. And it looked so wholesome. It looked like, reminded me like what you see the movies of back in the 50s, 40s and 50s when they had these little, you know, carnivals and stuff. You see the family out eating the cotton candy and stuff. It just looked really wholesome, like Mulberry or something. Andy Griffith Show, Mulberry, whatever. You know, gathering and, you know, bakery and stuff like that, baked goods, and that's what it reminded me of. And I looked and I saw kids walking around with families holding hands, you know, to their mom or their dad, and I was like wondering, is that where I'm supposed to go? And I looked, and then I said, okay. You know, okay. And when I got to this place, I don't know if it was in the transformation of leaving the creature and descending there, or, you know, mentally I was on my way there. But I saw this man, you know, and it's like the families are walking around, but then there was this, like, stage area. And there was this man there, and he was in sackcloth. Like a Brillo sack or something. You know, it reminded me like he was trying to be pure and humble or something. You know, to present himself as he was, you know, not a proud or boasting man. He was pure, and you know, and I even talked to my dad about this part. He says, honey, I don't know. But I saw this man, and he was like in a, sackcloth, and, that's usually the type of mourning when Israel would mourn or something. They'd go in Brillo or sackcloth and throw sand at themselves. That was a type of mourning. And anyway, he was like in that sackcloth, and then he started speaking, and he was claiming to be Jesus. And then he started talking impurities, and foul language. And I was looking around at all the people, and it was like they were like supporting him, and nothing that he was saying, even though it was dirty, and it was something you wouldn't talk around children. And they were acting like it was nothing. It didn't faze them a bit, and they were still like applauding him and stuff, and I'm thinking in my head, well, that can't be him, because I was relating the feeling. That can't be him, because I just left him. And that's not the same, and this is the only part of my experience that I don't really understand. And then after I was relating that, that can't be him, that was it. I was back. I was back in this world and everything, and that part, I can understand everything up to that part. Now I know in the Word it talks about if someone goes out and says that they're Christ, don't go. You don't leave. If they're boasting about their miracles and they're Christ, and they can do this and they can do that, don't go. Don't go out to seek him. Don't go follow him. So I know it says that, but the only thing I can relate the sackcloth to was Israel. When they would mourn, sometimes they would do that, go into sackcloth and throw dirt at themselves and stuff like that, to be humble. That's, the only thing I can get out of that. Because I haven't, when I ask God for confirmation, he gives me confirmation on everything. Just not that yet. And I haven't heard anybody talk about witnessing anything like that. Now, whether that was a way of God telling me what's going to happen, and trying to make it as like Christ would do. He'd come up and tell these stories to get his meaning across. I don't know if that's kind of sort of what he was trying to give me, a visual, how this person's going to come across and everybody's going to love him even though he's foul, and his talk is disgusting or whatever. Like referring to like the Antichrist or something. I don't know. I don't know what that last part that I'm supposed to take from that, And so I talked to my dad about that part, and he says, baby, he said, I don't know. He said, you'll find out. I just keep asking God, you'll find out. You'll understand it all. And because I'm sure God wouldn't give that to me, that experience, without there being a revelation of it. You know what I'm saying? But I talk too much. But, that's my story. That's everything that I witnessed and I experienced, and everything was such a positive and such a wonderful experience. There's nothing like it except for that last part. I don't understand completely that last part. So I'm still praying. I'm praying for confirmation and the meaning of that. And he's given me confirmation on everything else. So I know one day he'll let me know when he's ready. You know, so I know it's like I chose at the end. I said, okay, I chose to go back, and that's what I was put back in, was a false prophet type thing. It wasn't the true God and the true Christ that I just experienced. So, but I did say okay, that I'd go back. When I said I didn't care, I wanted to stay. And he said, you can't handle it, you're not ready. And then I said okay after seeing all that, and I was put back there. You know, then everything was over. It was done. So, you know, I just wanted to share my story with you guys. And I've had a lot of miraculous things happen throughout my life. You know, not to that depth of a spiritual experience, but miracle things throughout my life that saved my life a few times. And I can always, because I have had a life, let's just put it that way. And I have had a lot of sadness in my life. And I've taken a lot of wrong turns, you know. And I have witnessed a lot of things and been through a lot. So, you know, I hold on to what God gave me that was a gift and a type of healing. And it's not that I don't continue to go through things, but it does leave a remembrance of what he did for me, you know, by bringing me there to him. So that's it for this video. I hope that you guys will get something from it, and just know that I love all of y'all so very much. And this was part 5 and we got through it to the end. So I love you guys so very much, and I hope you'll come back, and I'll see you on my next one, hopefully. All right, guys, until then, I love you bunches.